When night falls at summer camp, the world changes. The laughter and games of the day fade away, replaced by a hush that settles over the woods. The air cools, and the shadows grow longer, stretching across the ground like dark fingers. It's a time when the ordinary feels magical and a little bit dangerous. Shadows stretch, and the air fills with the crackle of campfire stories. The fire's glow flickers on eager faces, and every snap of a twig in the darkness makes hearts beat faster. This is when legends are born. These aren't fairy tales, they're urban legends, whispered by bunkmates and counselors who swear they're true. Each story is told in hushed tones, with wide eyes and nervous glances over shoulders, as if the very act of speaking might summon something from the shadows. The scariest stories are set in places you know: the road outside camp, the woods just beyond the cabins, the lake where you swam that afternoon. Suddenly, the familiar becomes mysterious, and every sound in the night feels like a warning. These stories stick with you, long after the fire dies down and the embers fade. Even as you walk back to your cabin, you can't help but glance over your shoulder, wondering if something is watching from the trees. Every legend needs a monster, and in New York, one name chilled campers more than any other: Cropsey. His name was whispered with a mix of fear and fascination, a story that united generations of campers in shared dread. Cropsey's story had it all: a tragic past, a terrifying figure, and a warning that felt real. He was more than just a tale, he was a presence that haunted the edge of every campfire gathering. For generations, especially on Staten Island, Cropsey wasn't just a story. He was a ghost haunting the woods and dreams of local kids, a legend that grew with every retelling, blurring the line between myth and reality. The legend began with a man who lost everything in a fire. His grief and anger twisted into something monstrous, something that could never rest. And from those ashes, a nightmare was born, a legend that would keep campers awake, listening to the wind and wondering what might be lurking just beyond the light. Long ago, near the quiet waters of Marston Lake, there was a village shrouded in mist and mystery. The people who lived there were close-knit, bound together by the rhythms of nature and the stories they shared. Among them was a respected man, known for his kindness and strength, who lived peacefully with his beloved family in a small wooden cabin nestled at the forest's edge. But one fateful night, a group of reckless teenagers crept through the darkness, their laughter echoing as they played a cruel prank that spiraled out of control, setting his cabin ablaze. The fire raged mercilessly, devouring everything in its path: his home, his family, and the life he once knew. In the aftermath, only ashes and heartbreak remained, leaving him utterly broken. Though he survived the flames, his body was left scarred and twisted, and his soul was consumed by pain and rage. The man who once brought warmth to others became a shadow of himself. Overwhelmed by grief and unable to face the world that had taken everything from him, he disappeared into the dense, silent woods, leaving behind the ruins of his old life and the memories that haunted him. Soon, whispers spread among the villagers about a mysterious figure haunting the forest, wielding an axe or a hook, his heart blackened by unimaginable loss. They began to call him Cropsey, a name spoken in hushed tones. Cropsey became a warning to all: stay on the path, don't wander alone, and never tempt fate in the woods after dark, for you never knew what might be watching. The tale grew with every retelling, fueled by fear, guilt, and the lingering memory of tragedy. Around campfires and in shadowy taverns, the legend of Cropsey became a part of the village's very soul. Cropsey was no longer just a man. He became a legend, a ghostly shadow moving silently among the trees, forever watching, forever waiting. And every summer, as the nights grew long and the woods grew dark, his tale grew even darker, haunting the dreams of all who heard it. Cropsey became the ultimate campfire threat. Don't sneak out, or he'll get you. For campers, the legend was a test of bravery. Every snap of a twig, every shadow became a possible sign of Cropsey. Some said he snatched kids who strayed too far, dragging them to his lair. Others claimed he watched from the edge of the woods, axe or hook in hand. Lost shoes, strange noises, and missing jackets were blamed on him. Dares to call his name or spend time alone in the dark became rites of passage. Cropsey was more than a story. He was the boogeyman, kept alive by fear and imagination. And every summer, the legend grew. For years, Cropsey was just a story, a whispered name passed between children at sleepovers and around campfires, a shadowy figure meant to keep kids from wandering too far after dark. Parents used the legend to warn their children, and it became a chilling part of Staten Island folklore. But everything changed in the 1970s and 80s, when Staten Island children began to disappear without a trace. The community was shaken as missing posters appeared on telephone poles, and parents grew increasingly anxious. Suddenly, the legend felt terrifyingly real. Fear gripped the community, and families started locking their doors at night, pulling their children inside at the first sign of dusk. Police soon focused on Andre Rand, a mysterious drifter with a troubled past, who once worked at the infamous Willowbrook State School, a place already shrouded in rumors and darkness. Rand was often seen lurking in the woods, moving through the abandoned tunnels beneath Willowbrook, and was quickly linked to the missing children. The woods, once a playground, became a place of nightmares. The similarities to Cropsey were chilling, a solitary figure haunting the same woods, preying on the vulnerable, blurring the line between myth and reality. For the children of Staten Island, Rand became the real face of the campfire monster, the embodiment of every whispered warning. The line between legend and reality blurred as the community struggled to separate fact from fiction and fear from truth. Even after Rand's arrest, the Cropsey story only grew stronger, now forever tied to real tragedy, haunted places, and the pain of families searching for answers. The legend gained a new, terrifying weight, casting a shadow over Staten Island that lingers to this day. Sometimes the scariest monsters aren't just stories, they're real people, hiding in plain sight, turning nightmares into reality. Cropsey is now woven into New York's folklore, a legend passed down, retold in books, documentaries, and whispers. For Staten Islanders, his name brings back memories of fear, dares, and real-life horror. The story blends fact and fiction, warning kids to be careful, to stay close, to beware the woods. Willowbrook's ruins still feel haunted, and the woods hold secrets for those who remember. Even now, parents use Cropsey as a cautionary tale. So if you're ever in the woods at dusk, listen closely. Is that just the wind, or something else? Because some legends, like Cropsey, never die. They wait in the shadows, ready to be told again.